all for coming. Great turnout tonight. One note, students, there's a sign-in sheet. If you didn't get it at the door, make sure you get it on the way out for your extra credit, because I'll be sending that to Miss Mahar tomorrow morning. So make sure you get your credit. And now I'd like to introduce Vicki Banks, who is in charge of the Newfane Historical Society. And, well, she's a mover and a shaker over here and makes things happen. So, and she is going to talk to us tonight about the Van Horn family, the Van Horn Mansion, and its history to northern Niagara County. With that, I'll turn it over to Vicki.
Okay.
Thanks.
Creature on its own, and how the architecture teaches us a lot about who lived here. And then in the second half, we are going to stop the talking and you won't have to sit anymore. And there are 4 tour guides here tonight, so you'll be able to wander all 4 of the floors. And there'll be someone to assist you on each of the floors for any of the questions you have, because just about every room holds a lot of secrets and mysteries, and there's a lot of displays, so you may see something that you are curious about. But the War of 1812 was when America thought they could just take a little bit of Canada and keep it for ourselves, and it didn't really work out. But at that time, Canada, the British and their indigenous allies captured Fort Niagara, and then a ruling went out that they were to burn all of the family farms, homes, and businesses from the Fort Niagara area all the way towards Keg Creek, which is just a few miles this way. And I can't speak to other towns, but we know in Newfane there were only 3 houses that we're aware of that were spared. One in Olcott, there was a very elderly mother who was in her early 90s, and they were very nice, and they let the family stay there. Another family along Keg Creek, we don't know details, and part of the Van Horns. Van Horn was allowed to keep his house that he built because he bribed the soldiers. He gave them alcohol and food, and so they were forced to burn the mills because that was a target from Fort Niagara. First official town meeting to create the town of Newfane happened right inside this parlor space, and that was in 1824. So the house turns 200 this year, but the town turns 200 next year, so there'll be a party here. Burt ended up becoming a state senator and later a congressman. He served around the time of the Civil War. So for context, he was sworn in the same day as Abraham Lincoln, and they were in the same party. This was actually a restaurant from 49 until 63. The second floor is where the families stayed, and you are in the rooms where people sat and ate. The dining room had the bar, and then there's 2 different kitchen rooms. That was all the entire kitchen. And there was a lot of families that had weddings here that we have stories of. The house, or the restaurant, was called Green Acres because that was the name that Burt gave some of his orchards, and that they would see lights on. And so some people attributed to the glows of ghosts, and it could easily have been kids breaking in and flashlights floating around the house. And so it's just interesting. So when you're walking through the house today, you'll have to decide if you kind of feel anything in the house or not. We know came from Paris, France. We just don't really know other details. And then they built a second skylight because Burt was sharp enough to know that it gets dark at night, and he wanted to showcase it, and he also wanted to protect it from the winter weather. So you can see the second skylight. It's just frosted glass, but you can see it in the attic. When you're in the attic, you have a chance to actually look down at the stained glass and look up. He was close friends. Burt himself was close friends with the gentleman that created the Pan American Exposition. That was to showcase, it was kind of like a World's Fair that showcased North, Central, and South America. He was really good buddies with his friend who went to Yale, and so he convinced Burt to be responsible for all of the transportation to come in and out of that. And so he got to know people that could help restore the house and add electricity to it. So right here, there is this piece on the wall with plexiglass, just a kind of weird picture frame looking thing. That shows what we believe to be the 1823 wallpaper, probably just paint on wall. And then the original tube electricity you can see to the left. An event center. We have we just had a wedding here on Saturday, so we do host events here. It is a community building, so we'd like to use the community, for the community to use it. And we also consider it a living museum. It allows you the chance to kind of feel and explore and see things as the way the house might have looked.